Hi everyone, I'm Kevin Nelson for Catholic Newsbreak. Here's what's happening this week in the news. We begin with news from the Vatican. When the Pope makes his apostolic visit to Croatia June 4th and 5th, he will be focusing on the family and on the building of a community with Christian values. The Pope's expected to continue to underline the importance he places on reviving Europe's Christian roots. Even though Croatia is an overwhelmingly Catholic country, it has undergone hardships that have tested its foothold on faith. 2 world wars, a Nazi invasion, and then communist rule under the Socialist Federal Republic of Yugoslavia. A spokesperson of the Croatian Bishops' Conference said that threats continue, but under a different guise. First among them is rampant secularism, which, according to the spokesperson, is actively trying to deconstruct all elements of Croatia's traditional Catholic identity. Major challenges facing the church in Croatia include the country's very liberal law regulating abortion and proposed measures to legalize adoption for same-sex couples, as well as fresh debates over euthanasia. In other news from the Vatican, Cardinal Tarcisio Bertone, the Vatican Secretary of State, told more than 100 invited experts that the Church places human dignity at the center of its AIDS policies, which necessarily includes a solid ethical dimension. The Cardinal made his comments in his opening address at an international conference on AIDS. The Cardinal defended the Church's two-pronged strategy against the disease: education of consciences and mobilization of Catholic health resources for patients. The Cardinal said that educating people to avoid high-risk behavior when based on solid moral principles fully demonstrates its effectiveness and translates into greater openness toward those already affected by the virus. Cardinal Bertone underlined the Catholic Church's massive involvement in treating and caring for AIDS patients through its worldwide network of hospitals, clinics, and dispensaries. He said part of the Church's effort was to help remove the social stigma that is still borne by those with HIV and AIDS. One other note from the Vatican: the President of the Republic of Hungary, Paul Schmidt, held a concert in honor of Benedict XVI with the Philharmonic Orchestra of Hungary and the National Choir. It was for the occasion of the current Hungarian presidency in the Council of the European Union. Rome Report says more on the concert.
The President of Hungary, Paul Schmidt, offered a concert to Pope Benedict XVI at the Vatican's audience hall. The Philharmonic Orchestra and the Hungarian National Choir took part in the concert, which celebrated the Hungarian presidency of the European Union. It also marked the 200th anniversary of the Hungarian composer Ferenc Liszt. Among the symphonies played was Psalm 13, which was composed by the famous musician.
È un salmo in cui l'orante si trova in difficoltà. Il nemico lo circonda, lo assedia, e Dio sembra assente, sembra averlo dimenticato.
Despite a feeling of despair and frustration in the melody, the Pope said the composer eventually captures a sense of peace one finds with God.
Ma Dio non abbandona. Il salmista lo sa, anche Liszt, da uomo di fede, lo sa. Dall'angoscia nasce una supplica piena di fiducia che sfocia nella gioia.
The Pope gave the opening and final remarks in Hungarian, where he thanked the country's president and hundreds of others in attendance.
And finally in the news, in a homily at the 159-year-old St. Peter's and Paul Church in Chattanooga, Tennessee, Bishop Richard Sticca of Knoxville announced the elevation of the church to a minor basilica, the first in Tennessee. Bishop Sticca told those gathered that the title basilica is given to a church of great historic importance, but is also a recognition of the people of the church. The bishop had received the news May 3rd in Rome, where he had traveled to attend the May 1st beatification of Pope John Paul II. A church designated as a minor basilica must be a center of active and pastoral liturgy with a vibrant Catholic community and may have unique historical, artistic, or religious importance. Saints Peter and Paul, a Gothic structure that has stood in downtown Chattanooga since 1890, is the 69th U.S. church named a minor basilica, and the first since St. Patrick's Old Cathedral in New York City received the honor March 17, 2010. More than 1,580 churches worldwide have been honored as basilicas. Saints Peter and Paul and Immaculate Conception in Knoxville are the Knoxville Diocese's oldest parishes, both founded in 1852. The Chattanooga Church was placed on the National Register of Historic Places in 1979. Well, that is all the information we have for you this time. Please stay with Catholic TV for more Catholic news. Until then, I'm Kevin Nelson, and I'll see you next time on Catholic Newsbreak.